Hello everyone. Today I thought I would drag out probably one of my favorite running tanks. I've had it for quite some time. It's a 1/16 scale M26 Pershing. It's a Henglong, however you want to pronounce it. It's the old version with the two-prong crystal chip. So it's been around for a while. The only thing I've done to it was to put a metal drive sprocket on either side uh, for longer lasting of the drive sprocket. The tank runs like a top. I've run this thing into the ground basically. Just before I got it out to show you all, I spent quite some time trying to clean all the dried up dirt and mud off of the tracks and dress it up a bit. But so far the receiver unit or the handheld unit and the tank have held up tremendously well. Run it a lot, and seems that I have not been able to do much to tear it up. Quite happy for the money I spent on it. This one, I don't know if there was something wrong with it or if it was a return or whatever, but anyway, I think when I bought this tank, it was under $100. I think it was like 89 bucks. It's the low end version of it. Didn't have the metal sprockets, didn't have the metal tracks, which are nice to have, but I think it burns up the battery a lot quicker. I didn't put all the gear on it that comes with it. Well, at least what was with it was a lot of helmets and brackets, and then there was some stowage gear, small ammo boxes, and all that kind of stuff, which I've left off because, like I've stated so many times, you push a lot of that stuff into the pegs, and next thing you know, you're spending time trying to find them out in the field or wherever you're running it, and especially if you're shooting at each other and you do happen to hit something, a lot of times those small pieces just go flying off or break the prongs or whatever, and then you've got a problem trying to keep it attached. It's pretty much to scale. It doesn't have a lot of operating hatches, which they usually don't. But overall, aesthetically, it seems to be pretty correct from what I can gather from the books and stuff. The tank was basically late World War II entry, and then did serve in Korea. I think by then it was the M46 Patton. Looks mostly the same, but I think this one dates more towards the late World War II war and then between World War II and Korea. The tank is just the way it's set, or just the way I was able to get it, was pretty much a nice big bruiser, something to be on the same size as the Panthers and the Tigers and the 16 scale RC line. It's got the turret that, see, back then it was only, I think, 320 degrees of rotation, didn't do 360. It fires the standard 6mm pellet. And like I said, there was a ton of stuff that you could add on to this tank, and I've chose to keep it off just so I don't have to go looking for it. For the money, I think it was probably one of the better ones they did. It had a lot of, like I said, I don't know if I got all the extra parts that came with it, but for the ones that I was able to get, there was a lot. in the stowage department. I think it came with some wooden K-ration boxes, and then, like I said, there was I think a ton of 50 caliber machine or 30 caliber machine gun cans that went around the outside of the hull and stuff. The lights have not been a problem as far as being knocked off. I did put the stowage rack on this side with a fuel can and a couple helmets. They were easy to attach and seemed to be pretty safe behind that little bracket there. But all in all, like I said, I've had no complaints with this tank. A good runner, and glad I have it. Suspension works well, treads work well. Could have been more detailed. They're hollowed out on the back side toward the road wheel. I could replace them with the newer stuff, but so far so good. They haven't failed. Seem to be very sturdy. Take a lot of abuse, and it hasn't had too many problems going over obstacles. You know, for a 16th scale tank, it does a great job. But I will say that I don't know if it's this particular tank or maybe it was an upgrade as they produced things as they went along, but this one's firing system seems to be pretty good. It seems to have a strong pellet shot. And I know a lot of people are into the infrared battling systems, but I still like the old 6 millimeter BB airsoft versions of these tanks. Looks nice with a Sherman. I sometimes think that it would be neat if I could get one of these and actually adapt it to a Sherman body and make that test vehicle where they mated one of these turrets to a Sherman hull. I don't know if any of them made it to the war, but I know that they were looking at it for the 90 millimeter gun to go up against the German tanks. But all in all, this has been a real good runner. Really happy with it. It seems to be good all the way around. Like I said, being the old chips or the old frequency chips, don't know how much longer those will last, but I'll run it till it does, and then have to worry about maybe redoing the boards and stuff inside, which now I've done a couple of them. It doesn't seem to be the hardest thing in the world to do. I know the first one that I did, it was hard to tackle. I am looking at replacing a Mato running system with a late version 6.0 or 6.1 Henglong circuitry and sound and all that. So I'll have to see how those go. But hopefully it'll keep running for quite some time yet. Sound is good on it. Overall, for the money you'd spent for this thing, it was a real bargain. I don't know what they go for now. I know I see them on eBay with metal sprockets and the later circuitry in them, and they've gone up a bit in price. Not as much as some of them have, but it's still probably doubled for some of the versions. But I thought I'd give you a look. Hope you've enjoyed. Well, you all have a good evening. Thanks for watching. If you would like to, or if you've enjoyed what you've seen, I'd appreciate if you'd hit the like button. And thank you very much. You all have a good evening. Be safe. Bye.